The CyberGun licensed KWC CO2 BlowBack Desert Eagle Airsoft pistol. As you can see, definitely an intimidating looking sidearm for the Airsoft game. But is it skirmishable? We're going to be taking a look at its pros and cons in the field during this Deathcore Airsoft field report. We're basically going to see the KWC Desert Eagle in use is as a sidearm on the field. I mean, there are going to be those people take it out as a primary in either a CQB or even a field situation, but more so it's going to be in your holster on the field as a sidearm. But now, unfortunately, as you can see, it is a very large pistol. That's going to hinder your usage, considering this is going to have some trouble fitting into those holsters. So you're probably going to have to store it in a pouch somewhere on your vest. Or if you're on a rig, like you saw me earlier, you can simply stuff it in this small little area here. It honestly worked very well when I played a game using the Deagle, considering it was too big to fit in a holster. And it does poke you in the chest a little bit, but otherwise, it'll fit in here nice and snug. So a little bit of a con here is its size. It's going to be a little bit big to be carrying around in a holster, and if you do manage to squeeze it into a drop leg platform, it'll be smacking you in the back of the leg the whole time, considering this thing is not light. So take into consideration when you're planning to take this out into the field, it is a little bit bigger and a little bit heavier than most other pistols. The KWC CO2 BlowBack Desert Eagle has a lot of kick coming backward with it. Therefore, it is going to send an intimidating sound through the field to your opponents. If I was the guy getting shot at by this, I'd be almost as scared as somebody getting shot at by my KWC Mac 11, considering it's so loud. You can tell the slides ricocheting back, slamming into your hands as you're holding it. So it could be a little bit uncomfortable for some shooters looking to hold a pistol with a little bit lighter kick. But other than that, it's going to send an intimidating sound to your opponents. Now, nice feature of basically all gas blowback pistols is when you're out of BBs, your slide will lock back and let you know you're out of BBs. Now, your magazine holds 20 rounds, which is more than enough to get the job done if you're using this as a sidearm in the field, considering have 20 rounds, you'll be able to take out your opponents if you're firing careful shots. And if you do just pull this out to take out that guy you can't get with your M4 or whatever AEG you're using, this pistol will have enough ammo in it to get the job done. For BBs in here, .3s all the way, give you the best accuracy for shooting your opponents out there, considering this gun has a lot of kick, as I mentioned. Therefore, it's going to put a lot of strain on those lighter BBs. .2s, .25s are going to fly off course. So make sure you put some .3s in here when you're using this in a game. If you're chronoing it, .2s will do fine. One thing I don't like about the magazine, and this is a huge con if you're in the field, is that it's really hard to load it with just a normal speed loader. When I was at my game the other week, I had to use my pinky because the normal speed loader really doesn't work. You need that old-fashioned style speed loader, which will take some extra time having to hook it up, take the rod, jam the BBs down after you place them in, and so that's a huge con considering you can't reload the magazine all that fast. So you may need to pick up a spare magazine if you know you're going to be using this quite a lot. Now, the gun is powered by CO2. In the field, CO2 is not all that hard of a change, a lot easier than all those pistols where you got to unscrew the seal at the bottom, screw it back in, get it lined up perfectly. When you're taking 10 minutes and the guy's already over top you, pointing your gun at your face. In order to change the CO2 in this weapon, all you have to do is take a small Allen key. This is going to take a little bit longer time than those other pistols where it already has the crank down here to undo. But you take the Allen key, unscrew this a slight bit, your CO2 cartridge will fall out, and you can slip in a new one and tighten it again with the Allen key. So CO2 changing is pretty easy with this pistol magazine, but reloading is definitely going to be a hassle unless you have that old-fashioned style speed loader in the field to use it, which is going to take up a bit more time. The magazine slides in very, very easy, though, not going to cost you any time having to slam it in. Simply push it in like so, cock your pistol back. If there were BBs in it, it wouldn't lock back, and then you're ready to go for the field. As for aiming in the field, the gun's iron sights are pretty decent. I don't believe you can adjust either one, but they still are pretty accurate to the gun, especially if you put those .3s in there. Now, this isn't Call of Duty. You can't put your 6x zoom ACOG on the Desert Eagle for all you Call of Duty noobs out there. So this is what you have to aim with, your iron sights, and to be honest, they're pretty decent for in the field use. The KWC Desert Eagle with full trademarks from CyberGun, IWI, Magnum Research is a fairly skirmishable weapon. I'd rate it a 7 out of 10 for skirmishes. The gun's larger size and magazine you have to load with that old-fashioned speed loader adds a little bit of handicaps to the otherwise very nice for the field Desert Eagle. The gun's intimidating sound definitely adds a very nice touch to it, considering it's going to scare your opponents and it's going to hurt them even more when you hit them with that .3 gram BB, which I'd recommend shooting out of this thing. The gun's CO2 change is pretty easy. You could do it in the field if you wanted to. It might take a minute or so, but it's a lot easier than those other ones. We got to unscrew the seal and all that crap. The iron sights, they are not adjustable. You can use them. They are decently accurate to the gun. All you have to do is aim with those .3s. You should be able to hit your opponent. The gun otherwise is very nice. I like how it has the plastic grip here, not the all metal construction, considering that's a little bit colder on your hands. Plastic doesn't get as cold as metal. And honestly, this is a decent pistol to use in the field. 7 out of 10 for this gun. I'd recommend it as a sidearm if you're going to run it as a primary. get some spare mags, get at least 3. Sidearm wise, this is a definitely great pistol, as you can see. Just got somebody out there. With that being said, this is Angus's field report on the KWC Desert Eagle, which is available at airsoftstation.com for $120. Thanks for watching.